So I wanted to talk about how I heard the behind the scenes for the movie Keanu a couple years ago. The inspiration for that movie. I don't know if you're familiar with Key and Peele and their comedy sketch routines. They're quite funny, and I really like to learn that. Um, they had messages in their comedy. Everyone does with comedy. It's, using lies to tell the truth. And one of the things that really caught me off guard and that I wasn't really ready to believe was they said they were inspired by that movie Keanu, which is about a cat that was lost, and they did like a shoot 'em up action movie to get their kitten back. And the whole movie was inspired by what they say is white people and their, you know, abnormal love for dogs. And I thought that was a little weird. And at the time, I think I thought it was a little racist. But when I actually went to watch the movie John Wick in that trilogy, and I realized, holy cow, even this is a commentary on, like, how much white people love their dogs in a way where I'm like, I don't even think they're literally making a joke about it, like the movie Keanu, which ironically, if you look on the IMDb listing, the the person who voices the kitten in the movie Keanu is Keanu Reeves. That's the name of the kitten in the movie is Keanu. But in the movie John Wick, it's about, his dog was killed. And I think this is really interesting because, like, the entire trilogy is kind of like about, his dog that got killed and then his car that got stolen. And it's just like, it's so interesting to me that, like, they didn't make it about his wife getting killed or his kids getting killed. It's like literally hitting on, like, the things that, like, the white audiences that love Keanu Reeves care most about. Their dogs, their cars, and it's even touched upon in, like, the third movie. It's like, what kind of madman would shoot a dog? And just, like, it's kind of funny now because, like, I still, like, I was kind of seeing these patterns and these trends, but I wasn't sure if I was ready to believe it. And then I was just sitting in the, like, general lounge area for the apartment complex that I'm at up here in the Bay Area, and there was, like, this group of old white ladies that were just sitting around knitting, and I would have guessed that I was in the 1950s if they didn't all look like they were like 80 years old. And they were starting to talk about movies and complaining about how violent they were and unnecessary violence. And they were specifically talking about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And they said, we really love the movie. They all really loved the movie except for, like, the ending and the violence. And it was all unnecessary. And the first one to talk about how it was unnecessary, she was like, I just didn't see the need for them to, do all that killing, especially that dog. And one of the ladies spoke up and she's like, they killed 7 people and you care that they killed a dog? Like, and I just, like, I couldn't help myself. Like, was trying so hard not to just bust up laughing. So, like, I closed up everything I was doing and I left because I'm like, I just had to, like, say this to, like, and run to, like, because I left my phone in the apartment and I just really needed to, like, get that out there because I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like, I just want to say that this is not something that, like, white people like me are not unaware of, like, but the thing is, it's so surreal that it's like, she then started to explain, like, yeah, but it's like killing happens all the time, but the dog, that just doesn't deserve it. They're innocent. And I'm like, I'm just like, it just really kind of, like, irked me, because then they went on to talk about how they want, when they want to go to the movies or watch a TV show, they want to be entertained. And they're talking about, like, stuff that I'm like, those were, like, 1960, 1970, 1980, like, propaganda for racism and sexism in media. And I'm just like, they're talking about entertainment. Like, and they're upset by the violence in modern entertainment, which, to the degree that they can simulate it now in movies, was not possible back then. So, like, they don't have anything to say about the lack of sexism or racism. They had nothing to say about, essentially some of the movies they were talking about that are monologues on, why racism and sexism were a bad thing in those times. And they tell those stories by showing how violent people were about, like, through racism and sexism. And I'm just, like, mind boggled that, like, it was just, like, it was a real conversation of the stuff that I hear people talk about, why they have these conversations in popular media. And it was just so surreal to hear, like, somebody say, like, I can't believe they killed the dog, and somebody else say, like, really, they killed 7 people and you care about the dog. And I'm just like, this is like true crime, but like true entertainment theory is, like, so I just had to share that and get that out there. But hopefully this could bring a smile to your face on the sheer ridiculousness of some of the most important topics that can only be talked about in comedy. Like, they're so ridiculous that, like, we're not ready to even talk about them seriously as a culture yet, that they're being brought about in comedy. So if this, made you smile, if this made you chuckle, if this made you laugh out loud, please please share the joy and share this with anyone and everyone that you think may get a kick out of this story. So, all right, thank you.